Hello there. Welcome to our announcement time. It is a special Sunday. We honored our Lutheran Women's Missionary League, put the spotlight on everything that they do, and I think it was well received. It was a nice time to just, again, focus on their ministries and how they intersect with our local level congregations all the way up to the national and international level. So, we've got a lot of things to get through today. Let's get right into it. First of all, just a word of thanks to everyone who helped to pack Operation Christmas Child boxes. The deadline, I believe, is coming up fairly quickly for those. So if you haven't, there were a number of them coming back this morning. I saw bags full. So if you can, stay after the late service to help. Oh, today's the last day. That's why.
Today's the last day.
No, been nice to know. If you're still shopping for your box, you can drop it off during National Collection Week, which is November 13th through 20th. And you can find a location using the app. So we've wrapped that up. Thanks for helping out.
Today is also the next, today is the day that we also do our next Bible study at 7 o'clock tonight. So join us. It's a video-based conversation. It's being well received. I've gotten a lot of feedback on that, so that's good. I also want to just spend a moment and talk about our next movie time, our Parents' Night Out, whatever you want to call it. That's coming up on the 29th. That's next week. From 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock, you're welcome to drop your children off. They'll watch a movie, or you can stay with them and watch a movie with them. Also, if you would like to help, especially if you don't have children, it would be wonderful just to have some additional eyes on these children as they are here with us. So pack the kids with their blankets and pillows and snacks and whatever else they want, and come join us next week at 3 o'clock.
October 29th is the deadline for the return of our time, talent, and treasure forms, as well as submitting names for our All Saints Day observance. There's forms on the welcome table in the narthex right outside the sanctuary. There's also an All Saints Day form that can be accessed via QR code in the bulletin. Of course, time, talent, and treasure is really for you to sit down and intentionally think through how you are going to respond to the gifts that God has given to you in all the variety of ways that we have at our disposal. But that's a good exercise in itself. Just if you haven't done that in a while, just to thoughtfully and prayerfully think through how you can give and what that response is going to look like in your case.
Speaking of gifts, the Cleveland Institute of Music has loaned us a grand piano. If you have been in the sanctuary, you have seen it. It's behind the organ, and it's on a long-term loan. It was provided to us at no cost. It's a beautiful instrument. I'm sure you probably have heard it a few times. And so we've had some questions on where that came from. Now you know.
Yeah, I sit right next to that in the choir now.
Okay.
It's if you ever want to get into the music, sit next to a Steinway piano, and you'll feel the music as well as hear it. The next book club meets on November 8th. There's a location change. It's going to be at the Geauga West Public Library in their meeting room at 1 o'clock to discuss Jacqueline Winspear's The White Lady. Snacks and drinks, per usual, will be provided. You can pack a lunch and join at noon for extra fun. Contact Sue Matsky for more information.
Boutique is fast approaching. I saw the sign outside.
Yeah.
And we need help. So there are sign-up sheets on the bulletin board here at church, or you can call the office and ask that your name be placed on it. We're looking for people to bake goods and also to help set up, and finally, of course, to help tear down. So if you can do any or all of those, we would love to have your assistance. So just let us know, sign up, and you're good to go.
And please take note this year that boutique is only on Saturday.
Oh, yes.
In the past, it has had a Friday night preview. That is not happening this year. So as you're making your plans around the boutique, when to help, etc., you want to know that it's not Friday night. It's only Saturday. So there's certainly tons of information, but your help is the most important part, your availability. I guess that's enough about that. Life with God class, taught by Pastor Ken, continues now through November 15th. He's the point person to contact with any questions, but I am sure that it would be possible for you to enter into the class right now, even though it's met a couple of times already. You would be warmly welcomed, and Pastor Ken, I am, from past experience, will fill up, if you need to make up a Sunday or two's classes, he'll find a way to do that individually. So there's always room for you in the Matthew room on Sundays with Pastor Ken.
Today, again, we celebrated the Lutheran Women's Missionary League, and the Women's League is a part of that, right? It's connected to that, and they have grants that they make available to efforts and I guess missions around the local area. And so if you have a grant request, now is the time to submit it. They are due on November 19th. So you can contact the office for a copy of their guidelines, but submit that request, and then they meet and they discuss it and they hand that out.
Yeah. Our church council is looking for a new financial secretary. If that is something that interests you and you have the availability and the time to do the task and be trained in doing so, training will be provided. I encourage you to contact Chris Powell, whose phone number is in this week's bulletin under this announcement, and also is in our church directory. But that is an important position. That is you become a voting member of our church council, which puts you into the mix of making decisions that impact our church going forward. So again, talk to Chris Powell if you have any questions, and especially if you'd like to indicate your interest in joining us.
Our next congregation meeting is in November. It will be held on November 12th, and it will be after the late service. They usually started at 12:30, if I'm not mistaken. More information will come as we get closer, but it'll be after the late service on the 12th of November. So mark your calendars. We would love to have you there. You can hear more about the ongoing work of the church, the ministries that are, active, and just kind of see what we do.
Mm-hmm. Last announcement on the page is that Lutheran Marriage Encounter Weekend is November 17th through the 19th at Fairfield Inn in Streetsboro. This is a program that's impacted many, many lives. I know of a couple many years ago in my first congregation in Solon, went on a marriage encounter weekend and liked it so much that they became representatives for it in our region. And for many years were involved at that leadership level. And I guess what that serves to show is that you don't really know what it's going to be until you go. And once you go, most people that I've talked to have said it has had a great positive influence on their marriage, beginning with the fact that it just honors your relationship with time.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving each other time to concentrate on one another, and that's it during that weekend, which in and of itself is sometimes a challenge, the way life unfolds these days. So As it says in the announcement, I think that this is perfectly stated. Whether you're happy, arguing, or doing okay, you'll walk away from this experience, I think, strengthened in some way. So more information is available at godlovesmarriage.org. And if you're really, really interested, I can put you in touch with some people who are deeply into Lutheran Marriage Encounter. I think we did it.
I think we did it.
See us online this week. It'll be a very similar schedule to what you're used to. Thank you, as always, to all of you who like, comment, and share, because in the magical world of algorithms, it's interaction with each post that helps to put it in front of other people. So you do us a great favor by interacting with each post. And thanks to all of you who have done that habitually. So we'll leave you with that. Have a great day in the Lord, and we'll talk to you again.